Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Genius Knowledge Point, your go-to place for practical programming solutions for diploma, computer and IT students. If you are stuck on any practical assignment or just want to learn how to solve programs step by step, then you are in the right place. The main purpose of making this video is to provide practical knowledge to all diploma students so that they can develop their own programs which will be helpful for their future. Now in this video we are going to see next practical, which is practical number 16 for object oriented programming for diploma, computer and IT third semester and case scheme. So the practical number 16 is write a programs to implement pointer to object and this pointer. So we have to use pointer to the object of any class and this pointer. These are the concepts behind this practical. So moving to the first question of exercise, write a program which show the use of this pointer. So in this program you have to use this pointer and the class definition is not given, we have to assume that. So directly moving to the coding part, there we will see how to use this pointer. First of all, what is this pointer? This pointer is a pointer which is pointing to the class object which is currently in use. This is called this pointer. So whenever we are writing anything or defining a class, and if you want to use the object of the same class inside that class, then we can use this pointer. So this is how this pointer is used, and it is using this keyword. So let us start with the definition of the program. First, I am including both the header files, then creating a class, that is class my class. Then inside private section, taking a variable, that is integer variable, and naming it as a data. Then inside the public section I am taking constructor of that class. So as you know, the constructor having the same name as the class. So my class is the constructor. Inside a constructor parameter I am passing integer variable. So this D will be used to accept the data and store the data value. So inside the constructor I am writing a statement, that is this arrow data is equal to D. So whenever we are using a pointer and we want to access something inside the class, so in that case we have to use arrow operator. Generally what we do whenever we are using any object and we want to access some member variable or member function, we use dot operator, but in case of pointer we have to use arrow operator. So this is the pointer name, which is this pointer, and arrow data. So this means the object of this class, that is itself, and it is pointing to the data. So we are storing the class object and we are calling the data variable. So object dot data, this will be the general meaning if you use object here. This arrow data means this class data is equal to D. So whatever the value we have accepted into parameter, that will be stored into data value for this object. So this is how this pointer is used here. Then next, after the constructor I am creating a method, that is void print data, and inside that I am just putting a message data colon and attaching this arrow data. Again I am using this pointer here because I want to access the data variable which is inside current object. So that's why I am using this arrow data, and finally attaching endl. So this is how the print data function is closed, and finally the class is closed. So this is very simple program which is having only single class, and that class object is used here inside a main function. So inside main I am creating one object and I am passing a parameter as a 10 value. So what will happen, this 10 value will be copied into this parameter, and from this parameter this value will be copied to data variable. So this is how the object is created. Then I am calling print data method on a obj1, which is the first object. So again it will display the data value using this cout statement. Then again I am creating one more object, that is my class obj2, and passing second value which is 20. So again I am calling the constructor here, and this time I am passing 20 as a number. So again it will copy this 20 value into D parameter, and from that it will be copied to data variable. for this obj2. Then again using the print data function for obj2 object. So again it will print the data value, and finally getCH is there to hold the output screen and returning 0 because main is returning integer. So the coding is complete. Copying the code and pasting it into compiler, then running this code. So it is showing me the value which I have accepted using main function, that is data. First object value is displayed as 10 and second object value is displayed as 20. So this is how we have used this pointer for this question, and the question is complete. Now the next question is, which is under practical related questions. Write a C++ program to declare a class book containing data members, book name, author name and price. Accept this information for one object of the class using pointer to that object. So we have to create a class book. The data members are given here. Then we have to use the pointer to the object to accept the information, and we are going to display the information. So let us move to the coding part directly. So initially I am including both the header files, then creating class book. The definition of the class will be similar to the previous classes, so there is nothing new in this class. So just going quickly through the class definition. So insert public section taking price as an integer variable, then book name and author name as a array of characters. Then method is defined void accept to accept all the values, that is book name, author name and price, using messages of cout statement and using cin to accept the values. Then moving toward the next function, that is void display function. Insert the display function, I am just displaying all the information, that is book name, author name and price. So both the functions are created here and the class is closed now. Next, moving toward the main function. So initially clearing the output screen, then creating object of book class. So as we see, this program is related to pointer to the object. So before creating pointer, we need one object so that we can point our pointer to that object. So that's why I am creating one object, that is book B. Now I am creating pointer of the class, that is book star bptr. So book space star bptr. Star represents the pointer variable and bptr is the pointer name. So this is the pointer of type book. Now we can point this pointer to our object. So this is the next statement, bptr is equal to ampersand b. So in this statement what will happen, the address of object b will be stored into bptr. So now our pointer is pointing to our object. Next I am calling the accept method. So as we are using pointer here, we cannot just use directly dot operator, because dot operator used with objects only. So we have to use arrow operator. So bptr arrow accept. So what will happen, it will run the accept method for object b, because bptr is pointing to b now. So using this accept code, what will happen, it will run this code and accept a book name, author name and price. Then after that I am calling the display method using the same arrow operator. So bptr arrow display, it will call the display method and display book name, author and price that we have entered. So finally getCH is there to hold the output screen, and main function is closed here, and the program is also ended. So selecting all, copying the code, going to compiler and pasting the code. Now running the code. So it is asking me to enter the book name. I am just putting ABCD, then author, PQRS, and price per copy I am entering 300. So the accept function has completed here. Now from this point display function is running and it is displaying all the details that we have entered. So this is how we can create a pointer to any class object, and we can use that pointer to access data members of the class using arrow operator. So this is how this question is ended. Now moving toward the second question of practical related questions. Write a C++ program to declare a class box having data members height, width and breadth. accept this information for one object using pointer to that object, display the area and volume of that object. So again this question is similar to our previous question, just the class name is given as the box and the data members are given as the dimensions of the box. Then again we have to accept the information using pointer to the object, and additionally we have to calculate the area and volume of that box. So directly moving to the coding part. So initially I am including both the header files, then defining the class, that is class box. Then inside box class I am taking three variables, that is height, width and breadth, and all the three variables I am taking as integer variables. Then inside public section defining a method, that is accept method, to accept all the three values, putting respective messages. So all the values are accepted here. Then moving toward the next function, that is display function. So inside display function, as the question is given that we have to calculate the area and volume of the box. So for that purpose I am calculating both the values in the display function itself. I am not taking other functions to calculate area separately or volume. So I am calculating area and volume inside display only. So first I am taking int area. So this is the temporary variable that we have taken inside the display function, which is a local variable. So area is equal to, as you know, the box is having 6 surfaces and out of which opposite surfaces are equal. So I am just calculating this area of 3 surfaces, adding them together, and all the addition is multiplied by 2. So height into width, then width into breadth plus breadth into height. All the three values are calculated, then added them, then the entire bracket is multiplied by 2. So it will calculate the entire area of box. So this is how the area is calculated. Then next I am taking int volume, so which is for volume, then is equal to height into width into breadth. So this is how the volume is calculated. And finally I am putting message area of the box and attaching area value, then putting message volume of the box, attaching volume value. This is how the area and volume is calculated, and the same function is displaying the both values. So now the display function is ended here and class is also closed. Now moving toward the main function, initially clearing the output screen, then creating one object of the box. As we have seen in the previous program that we have to create one object so that our pointer will be pointing to that object. So creating one object, that is box B, then creating pointer box space star bptr. So this is how the pointer is created. Next I am pointing that pointer to the object. So bptr is equal to ampersand B. So now my pointer bptr is pointing to the object B. So whatever the operations I am taking on or performing on bptr will be reflected to B object. So next I am calling the accept method using the arrow operator. So as we have seen in the previous practical that the arrow operator is used in case of pointer. Then again I am calling the bptr arrow display method. So both the methods will be run. In accept method it will accept the length, width and height, and in display function it will calculate the area and volume and it will display the area and volume. So finally get ch is there to hold the output screen, and main function is ended here. So just selecting entire code, copying the code, going to compiler, pasting the code and running the code. So enter the height of the box, this is the message. So I have to just enter the value. So 20 is entered, then 30 is entered and 40 is entered. So if you see, area of the box is calculated as 5200 and volume of the box is calculated as 24,000. This is how we have calculated the area and volume properly, and we have done it using pointer to the object of the class. So this question is also completed now. Now the third question is write a C++ program to declare a class birthday having data members day, month, year. Accept this information for 5 objects using pointer to the array of objects. So the class is given as the birthday, then the day, month, year, these are the data members given. Then we have to accept the information for 5 objects. and also we have to use the pointer to the array of objects. So here we will be using array of objects because multiple objects are there, and again we are going to use the pointer here. So moving toward the coding part directly. So initially I am including both the header files, then defining the class birthday, which is given in the question. Then inside class birthday I am taking variables as day, month, year, and all the variables are integer variables. Then inside public section, creating a method that is void accept to accept the day, month, year using the messages and cin. Then all the values will be accepted. Next method is void display. So inside that I am just displaying the values. Cout birth date is, so this is the message, and after that attaching day, in front of that attaching slash, in front of that attaching month, then attaching again second slash, and finally year. So this is how the birth date will be displayed, and it will be displayed in the date format because we are formatting it properly according to date format. So day slash month slash year, this is how the birth date will be displayed. So the display function is completed, and finally class is also completed. Now moving toward the main function, initially clearing the output screen, then taking int I as a variable because we are going to use loop here, as we are going to create multiple objects of the class. So for that purpose we need loop. So I variable is created for that. Then birthday b of 5. So this is the array of objects. What we are creating here, we are creating array of objects and having the size as a 5. So it will create 5 objects of the birthday class. And finally next after comma I am creating star bptr. So in the same statement I am creating pointer also. Pointer is created once only and the objects are created 5. So this is the difference. Next, as we know that the pointer is the variable that is storing the address of another object. So for that purpose we have to assign this bptr to particular object. So what I will do, I will assign bptr is equal to ampersand b of 0. So what it is doing, it is pointing the pointer to the first object, that is b of 0. Now using the pointer increment decrement, what we can do, we can point it to the next object or previous object. Next I am creating a loop. Why loop is needed? Because multiple objects are there and a repetitive coding is there, so that's why we need a loop. Creating a loop, that is for I is equal to 0 semicolon I is less than 5 semicolon I plus plus. So this will be the range of I, that is 0 to 4, and that becomes 5 values. So total 5 times this loop will be run. So inside that I am just using a method that is bptr arrow accept. So what it will do, initially my pointer is pointing to the first object, so bptr arrow accept will run the accept method for first object. So it will accept the birth date for first object. Then I am moving the pointer to the next object. For that purpose I need increment operator. So what I will do, bptr plus plus. So incrementing the pointer will point the pointer to the next object. So automatically after this increment my bptr, that is pointer variable, will be pointing to the b of 1. So that is next object in the array. So this is how the loop will run, and every time I am incrementing the pointer, so what will happen, it will point to the next object. So while completing the loop, what will happen, it will be accepting all the birth dates for 5 objects. So this is how the birth dates are accepted using pointer increment and loop. Next we have to display the birth dates that we have accepted, but before that what we have to do, as our pointer is incremented every time inside the loop, so what will happen, our pointer will be pointing to the last object and it will be incremented further. So what will happen, our pointer has moved next to the last object, so that's why we have to bring that pointer to the first object again. So that's why this statement is here. So bptr is equal to ampersand 0. So what this statement will do, it will again this pointer to the first object, then only we can use loop again, otherwise the pointer will go on incrementing and it will be pointing to the garbage objects. So this is not needed. So that's why bptr is equal to ampersand 0 is necessary for bringing that pointer to the first object again. So now the pointer is again pointing to the first object. Again I will run the same loop, but this time I will use the display method. So in the first loop we have accepted all the birth dates, and in the second loop what I am doing, I am displaying all the birth dates using bptr arrow display. Again the same method is used here, but the function name is different, and bptr is incremented to point to the next object after every loop. So this is how all the birth dates will be displayed, and the for loop is ended here. Finally get ch is there to hold the output screen, and main function is closed, and program is also ended. So copying the entire code, pasting the code into compiler, then running the code. So it is asking me to enter a day. So this is asking me for first birthday. So I am just entering day, then month, I am entering 2, then year, then again it is asking me to enter a day because we are inside the loop now. So first object is done here. Now we are accepting the birth date for second object. So again I am entering a date value, then year, then again day, so entering 5, then month value as 9, 2023, again entering a day value, so 8, month 10, year as 2020, again entering a day, so 9, then 9, then 2024. So all the birthdays are accepted here, and the display function is running in these statements inside a loop. So as we have entered the birthdays, all the birth dates are displayed using the display function and using the loop. So all the birth dates are displaying in a date format because we have formatted the output according to date format. So this is how we have used the pointer to array of objects, and using loop and pointer increment, decrement, we have arranged our output properly. So this is how this practical is complete, and the practical number 16 is also completed, which was regarding pointer to the object and this pointer. In the first question of exercise we have seen what is this pointer and we have used it, and in the practical related questions we have done the programs regarding pointer to the object and array of object, and the practical is complete here. So that's it for today's practical. I hope this helped you understand the solution clearly. Code for this practical is available at the link given in the description. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such diploma level programming solutions. If you have any doubts or need solutions for other programs, drop a comment below. I will be happy to help. And hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching and happy coding.